Well, I'm here with Norm from Lilly Miller. How you doing, Norm?
How are you this spring?
Well, you know, spring is here, and it seems like moss is back. What is it about the Northwest that seems to just constantly have us struggling with moss?
You know, I travel over the entire part of this beautiful country of ours, and it dominates in the Pacific Northwest. The I-5 corridor from Seattle to Portland is mosses everywhere, particularly where the lawns haven't been maintained properly. That's the biggest cause from it, is not so much as how much they fertilize as when they fertilize and what they do fertilize with. But that moss continually comes back year after year, and until we correct those conditions, we will continue to have the same problem year after year.
Well, Lilly Miller offers several options for dealing with moss, but it's not something, the products aren't going to get rid of moss forever because it takes the maintenance that you were talking about. So what are the steps to begin this process to get rid of moss?
Well, there's several different products you can start with. Lilly Miller makes a liquid as well as a granular product. And as you mentioned, you know, it won't prevent it unless we try to increase the maintenance of it. And we do that by getting rid of it early in the spring. Right now, you can apply the moss products out, whether you use the liquid or the granules. Once it turns black and it dies out and then it dries out a little bit, you can simply rake it out with a thatching rake or a garden rake to remove that. You can also use a Super Sweet or a Soil Sweet product by Lilly. It's a calcium carbonated limestone product that you can put down that would help correct the acidity of the problem that's in the soil. But I think basically once you get rid of it, then you have to go on a good maintenance program, which is fertilizing 3 to 4 times a year, not just once or twice.
Yeah.
And also good drainage. You can actually run an aerator, which will actually remove a core out of the soil itself, and then you can top dress that area with a gypsum type product to keep those holes from closing back up.
Sure.
So drainage, but it's north side of the house, it's shade, and it's maintenance. Those three all produce moss.
Well, you know, I'm a big fan of visuals, and I have to tell you all that I was here when we sprayed this, and I watched it, and it actually died right before my eyes.
This was a liquid form we applied that actually attaches to the end of your hose. You can spray it, and what do you think, about 15, 20 minutes? Or?
Well, yeah, it was probably about 20 minutes ago to spray, but Norm, I watched while they were spraying it, and I could see from the time they started here and went down to the bottom, I could see it die. I mean, you could see it changing colors right before your eyes.
That's the liquid. Now, the liquid works much faster because it's absorbed, as you can see, right into the plant immediately, where with the granular products, they take a little bit more time to break down. So you'll see it turn black, but not as fast as you do with liquids.
Sure.
And you can also refill the hose end container with the straight iron product.
So quickly now, if I'm going to spray this, what do I do now that it's sprayed and it's brown, or if I use the granular, either one? What's the next step?
Well, you just want to let it dry a little bit. You know, it's a little bit cool and damp today, but let it dry a little bit. Then you can come back in and mow it, and then you can rake it, de-thatch it with a thatching rake or a garden type rake, just to get that out. And then you can actually overseed it with a good perennial rye type grass for this part of the country.
Sure. And then you if you're doing your job with the maintenance throughout the year, you shouldn't have as big of a problem the next season.
That's right. What happens is your better grasses will actually grow good, thick, dense turf, which won't allow the moss or weeds to get back into it. But the first thing you have to do is you have to correct the conditions, because it is very conducive to moss growing just about any part of Portland or Seattle.
Well, you know, if you have any other questions, go to any of your independent garden centers and certainly pick up Lilly Miller products. They're great products, they work well, and they make it as easy as it can be to get moss out of your yard. Thanks a lot, Norm.
My pleasure, William.